Hi, I'm glad you could join me today. Today we're going to do a wonderful little painting, and I really think you're going to enjoy this one. So I tell you what, let's don't waste any time. Let's have them run all the colors across the screen that you need to paint along with me. I've got my old 18 by 24 inch canvas up here. It's all covered with a nice thin even coat of the liquid white. It's wet and slick, it's ready to go. So let's just do what I thought today. Let's do maybe a little traditional painting with some mountains and pretty sky and maybe some water, and who knows. Let's just do something and have a good time. Start off with the old 2-inch brush today. I'm going to go right into a smallest little amount of the Indian yellow. Just a little color. Doesn't take much. I'm going to put a little yellowish glow in the sky. Now the Indian yellow is quite transparent. There. I'm in a bright, happy mood today. It's a good day to be alive. So let's do a painting that reflects that. Shoot, every day's a good day to be alive. There we are. Maybe a little bit of it down here. If we're going to have water, we just put a little in there. What the heck? Okay, without even cleaning the brush, I'm going to go right into a touch of alizarin crimson and just tap a little bit into the bristles, like so. Like so. And we'll go right up above this, and I'm just going to lay in a little bit of crimson. Just wherever. Sort of let them flow together. There we are. Just blend those edges out. Very nice. Just put a little warm spot up here in the sky. Okay, we'll take a little crimson and we'll throw a little of that down here too. What the heck? What the heck? We don't care. That's good enough. Okay, just have a good time. That's really what painting's all about. Is just enjoy yourself. Okay, a little phthalo blue. And I still have the same old dirty brush. Let's go right on back up in here. Using a little crisscross strokes. And I've started out here and working downward, so it'll mix with the liquid white and automatically it'll get lighter and lighter in value. There. See, the blue is so much stronger than that crimson. Boy, it'll eat it up if you're not careful. Maybe a little bit right in here. Now, when you do your painting, if you don't want all these colors in the sky, just leave them out. You can make any kind of sky that you want. Just want to show you how to make a beautiful, bright little painting. We'll take some phthalo blue and just a touch of phthalo green. Phthalo blue and phthalo green. And let's put some water down here. There. Pull from the outside in. Outside in. A little bit on the other side. There we go. Just let all these colors just sort of blend together. Don't want to kill all that bright spot right there. It'll go away and leave you. It'll go away and leave you. There. Okay. And now we can wash our brush. We've put all this color on there, and this is the first time we've washed our brush. Use odorless thinner, shake off the excess, and there we go. Now then, I want to blend the sky out. Be sure your brush is good, clean, and dry. Start in the light area, and blend outward. Always blending outward. Try not to bring that blue color back into that yellow, or you'll have a bright green sky. Unless that's what you want. Okay, now then, just knock that excess paint off my brush. And continue to blend. There we go. Okay. One more time. Now you can blend this till it's very soft and very delicate. Till you can't tell where one color stops and the next color starts. And sometimes when you're painting at home, step back from your painting and take a look-see. It's hard to see when you're very close. Step back and look at it and you'll see a whole new perspective. Things will look totally different. There. All right. Down here, we just very lightly just go across. It's mixing with a liquid white, and it all just sort of blends together. That's pretty. Already that's pretty. Okay, and we can clean our old brush one more time. Shake it off, cover all the camera people, and off we go. Let's put us a little mountain up here. For that, I'm going to use some Midnight Black, some Van Dyke Brown, alizarin crimson, a little Prussian blue. Good dark color. Mix it up, pull it out very flat, cut off our little roll of paint right there. Now then, you got to make your first big major decision. Where's your mountain live in your world? Maybe your mountain lives right there. Well, it sure does now. Firmly push that right into the fabric. Just really push. Like so. Use a lot of pressure. Maybe it goes on off over here somewhere. Whatever. Scrape off all the excess paint. Take a 2-inch brush and we grab that. Once again, the canvas is wet. We can move color. We can absolutely move color. Now, if you're on a dry canvas and you try to pull this paint, you're going to be in agony city. That's one of the reasons that I stress so much that we use a pre-stretched double prime canvas. If you use a canvas board or canvas paper, it will absorb your liquid white and you'll be left with a dry surface. And we depend on this being wet through the entire painting. There we go. Now then, let's put some snow on that mountain. We take some white. I'm going to take the least little touch of alizarin crimson and put in there just to warm it up. The least little amount. Don't want to set it on fire. Pull it out very flat. Get strong with it. Very flat. Go straight down. Cut off our little roll of paint. Okay? Now then, you have to make some big decisions. In my world, I think the light's going to be coming from the right. And you're going to find if you're right-handed, it's normally easier for the light to come from the right. If you're left-handed, it will vary from person to person. I have a brother who's left-handed, and I know left-handed people their entire life are forced to do right-handed things. So some left-handed people will find it easier to highlight on the left, some on the right. But most right-handed people, 99 out of 100, will find it easier to highlight on the right. Try it a little bit, see what works for you. There. Okay. When I was teaching for a living all the time, one of the things that I found when teaching a person who is left-handed, it's super nice if you have a big mirror. If you have a mirror, you can do it and it looks correct then to a left-handed person. There we go. Take a little blue, a little white. Let's just stay a little blue and white. There. Pull it out flat. Once again, our little roll of paint, just like so. Now then, let's just put the indication of a shadow. Now, let's push this one back. Watch right here. You come right down through here and distinctly come through that. See? And it pushes that little thing right on back into the background. That easy. You have the power to move mountains. There we go. Let's just put in a few little shadows here and there. There. Push that one right on back. Bring that together. Maybe there's a little shadow hides right in there. See? Anywhere you want a little indentation in your mountain, put a shadow there. That's all it takes. Watch here. Clean, dry brush. I want to create the illusion of mist down here at the base. So gently tapping, following the angles, then lift upward. Upward, upward, upward. Very gentle though. Very, very gentle. All you're doing here is caressing the canvas, just barely touching it. Now, sometimes it's fun to come back and change your mountain. Watch in here. See, maybe we want to bring this back. Put a little doer in there. In your world, you can do anything that you want to do. There we are. See, maybe there's a, comes right out through there. I don't know. wherever you want it. Just sort of make a decision in your mind and drop it in. Just practice seeing things in your mind and then putting them on canvas. There. See, now then, our little shadow back here. Maybe here and there, a little shadow. Shoot. You've got one fantastic mountain. There we are. Okay, a little bit over here. Always following the angles that you have in your mountain. There we go. Okay. Just blend all that together. Time to have some fun. Let's make us up a mixture of dark color here. We'll use some black, Prussian blue. Shoot, I'll throw some phthalo green in there too, it doesn't matter. A little bit of crimson, a little brown. Whatever you got. You're just looking mainly for a good dark color. It should look black. Let me clean my knife. Okay. And we'll take an old fan brush. Let's load it full of color. A lot of paint. Both sides full. Okay. And maybe back in here in our world, there lives a lot of little distant trees, and all you're doing is tapping down over the fan brush. Just tap it down there. Now, see, I want to get progressively smaller. When this is done, that will help lead the eye around the corner. Around the corner and down the street. We don't know where it goes, but wherever it goes, it's a happy little place back here. Okay, maybe here and there in our world, maybe one or two of these trees is a little more distinct, stands out a little stronger. You can see a little more detail. A lot of paint though. There's one. You're just sort of working back and forth. And you just put as many or as few as you want. Now, right in here, let's have some reflections. Because this is wet, the paint will move. Used to when I was a traditional painter, reflections were hard to do. I turned the canvas upside down and paint the scene over, but watch right here. Because this is wet, all you have to do is grab it and pull it straight down, like so. See there? Straight down. And then very lightly come across. Isn't that fantastic? See how you can move those and push them, pull them, wiggle them, bend them, whatever you want to do with them. They're yours and you can do anything. Take a little liquid white. To that I'm going to add the least little touch of blue. Tiniest little bit of phthalo blue, not much. Can't hardly even tell there's any blue in there. Let's just pull a little, do that again, pull a little color like that on the knife. Then push firmly. I'm really pushing very firmly here. Very firmly. There we go. Now we can take our knife, just a clean knife, scrape through here and there, put the indication of some sticks, twigs, tree trunks, all those happy little things. Now, let's build some more trees. This will be our evergreen painting. We'll have a lot of evergreens in this one. So let's come right up here. We'll put a happy little evergreen right there. Back and forth. There. Just go back and forth. Those little son of a guns just live right in that brush. You gotta push them out sometime. There. I lived in Alaska for so many years, and I love these scenes with mountains and evergreens. It looks like home to me. There we go. And if you're into selling paintings, these type scenes, where they sell like hotcakes, everybody likes them. Let's come right over here. Maybe there's a little tree. Where's it right here? Well, I don't know. Wherever you want them. Got a friend right there. That's Clyde. He lives there. And we just push up. See, what that easy, we can make a little peninsula that comes right out. See how that pushes everything back? Drop some of it underneath. Take our big brush, grab that, give it a little downward pull, and we have some instant reflections. Sneaky, huh? Shoot, I'm gonna make a big evergreen. I want a big one. This one is taller than the mountain. He goes way up here in the sky. It's a granddaddy evergreen. In Alaska, I used to have a huge, huge evergreen that lived in my front yard. Boy, he was the son of a gun. Looked like he was 100 foot tall. And the ptarmigan used to come in every afternoon, and they'd sit in that tree. Ptarmigan are a beautiful grouse-type bird that lives in Alaska. They're not too smart, though. They're sort of like, oh, I don't know, they taste sort of like pheasant, and the people eat them there. They're good eating, from what I understand. I wasn't much of a hunter. Shoot, I'd go out there and feed them. They were safe at my house. A little bit of the liquid white, we just run that right around like so. Let me find, here's a good old brush. Just take a 2-inch brush and we'll pull it right through some color. See, pull it in one direction through the color. A lot of paint's loaded into those bristles. A lot of paint, okay? Now then, maybe right in here lives some bushes and all kind of happy little things. Right there. And we can reflect some of that right into the water. Right into the water. That easy. And on the other side, we want some just happy little bushes and trees. There, see? Just make this look like a little winding, maybe it's a little river that just winds right on back in there. Goes out behind the bend. A super place to take a canoe and just sort of float down the river. Okay, take some dark sienna, a little bit of white, mix it up so it's sort of marbly. Cut me off a little roll of paint. And we'll go right up here. And with that, I'm just going to put the indication here and there of a few tree trunks. There. And this big old tree, he needs a trunk too. Big trunk in here. Give it a little sidewards pull. Okay, and I'll grab another fan brush. I have several of them going here so I don't have to spend all my time cleaning brushes. We'll take some of that dark color we made the evergreens out of, mix it with a little yellow, and automatically that's going to turn a beautiful green because it has blue in it. Or black. Let's go up here. Now then, let's put some highlight on these trees. The mountain says our light's coming from the right. So it also strikes the trees stronger on the right than it would on the left. There we go. I like to keep these evergreens quite dark. Quite dark. It adds contrast to your painting. Let's go over here in this big one. Shoot. Look at there. Isn't that super? Just see hundreds and hundreds of little leaves and twigs. That easy. And you can take just a clean knife. Evergreens always have dead sticks hanging off of them. Watch right, come right up here. Watch here. You can take that, see, and just pop in a few little dead sticks and twigs hanging right off your tree. And all you have to do is just scrape right through the paint. Just scrape through the paint. Find a 1-inch brush that's clean. Going to dip it into a little bit of the liquid white and then into some color. We're going to take some sap green, cad yellow, and then we'll sort of bounce back and forth into, we'll get some yellow ochre in a minute. Let's go right up here. There's a happy little bush. I remember him. He lives right here. Right there. Beautiful little bush. And he shines in the sun. Okay, now then, watch right here. Let's turn that into reflections just by pulling it down. Go lightly across. That's all there is to it. Now I'm going into yellow ochre, little Indian yellow here and there. Here lives another little bush. See them? Just sort of visualize these in your mind and drop them in. Drop them in. There we are. Maybe right here. There's another little bush. But see, do layer after layer after layer, one bush at a time. Drop it in and then work forward. Okay, we're going to reflect a little bit of that right into the water here. You know, one of the questions I probably get half a dozen letters a week asking if we do any tracings or any video editing when we're making these shows. And I've mentioned this before, but there's absolutely no video magic that happens here. What happens here, good or bad, absolutely happens in the time that you see it happen. There. Pull straight down and go lightly across. Okay. Yeah, if I was to do something that you didn't see, I'd feel like I was cheating you. Tell you what, let me get my fan brush here. Get a little bit of color right on the fan brush. And maybe back here in the distance, we'll put the indication of a little grassy area way back in there. Like so. See, that pushes that one way back. Now watch here. When we put a bush here, that's really going to be the separator. Now, it becomes a separate entity this far away. Now maybe right here lives, yep, you're right. Happy little bush. Well, this would be a nice place to live out here. It's so pretty. Looks peaceful. Nobody's angry out here. Oh, this is a nice spot. Sit out here and watch the animals, talk to trees, make friends with God and nature. Right there. That's the spot. Another little tree right here. See, once again, though, put these in layers. Layer after layer. I know what. Let's do. Maybe there's a stone here. So you need a little place to sit. So let's just put us in just a little stone. We can sit right here and be comfortable. A little white, a little brown. We go right in here and drop the indication of a little highlight on top of that stone. There. And if you take care of this stone, treat it right, it'll grow up to be a big mountain like back there. Now we know that's not true, but it sounds good. It sounds good. Probably just the opposite. That used to be a big mountain. It's just got wore down to that. There. Now we can bring some of our little bushes right around. If you have trouble making these stick, add a little tiny amount of liquid white to your brush. There's one. See, even here where they're crowded, do one at a time so you have individuals in there. Give each one of them a name if necessary. And I'm just going to take the knife, scratch through the paint to create the illusion of sticks, twigs, all kinds of little things that are happening. That helps show all different planes. Normally I do it in the dark areas, not in the light. Because the light areas indicate leaves and stuff that are on this side. The dark areas show, you know, where you're looking down between the sticks, or between the bushes, and you can see down into it, the shadow areas, and you can see those little sticks. So mainly in the dark areas. A little Van Dyke brown. Let's put some land right out here. Shoot, there's all kinds of happy things out here. Watch, there it goes. Just drop it in. There. A little bit of our highlight color. That was just dark sienna, a little white. Looks like I hit a little blue there too. And that's just right. I'd graze it down a little bit. Makes it even better. Little touch of liquid white. I'm just going to pull that out flat and pull it out like so and draw my knife across it. Once again, using a very firm pressure. Very firm. Bend the knife. That knife's strong. You're not going to hurt it. That's another question I hear quite often, is that my knife looks like it's a different color than the ones that people buy. There's not any difference at all. The only thing is they make me spray this one black so it doesn't shine. But it's the same knife that you have. Same identical knife. A few little ripples on the water here and there. There. Sticks and twigs. Liner brush. We'll dip it in at least a little bit of paint thinner. Make some paint that's very thin. And maybe right here. Here lives an old little stick. And he lives right out here. Like so. Go back into the paint thinner, into some bright red. I think we'll sign this one. This is a painting that will teach you how to use all the equipment. And it's always one of the more popular things that we do, these mountains and evergreens. Everybody likes these. So on behalf of the entire staff, happy painting and God bless.
Production of this program is made possible by a grant from the Martin F. Weber Company, manufacturers of fine artist materials, and by Langnickel, manufacturers of select artist brushes.
Hi, I'm glad you could join me today. And I thought today we'd do a canvas that's black, as you can see. That's one of the most enjoyable type paintings that I have ever found in this method of painting. So I tell you what, let's have them run all the colors across the screen that you need at home to paint along with me. While they're doing that, let me tell you what I've done up here. I have standard old pre-stretched canvas, and well, I was going to keep it a secret, but I'm going to go ahead and tell you. I've put a contact paper oval on here today, and then I've painted the center of this with black gesso. Allowed that to dry completely, and then on top of that I've put a mixture of alizarin crimson and phthalo blue, and as it works out from the center I've added more and more blue, so it gets darker as it works out. The warmest spot is right here in the center because I'm going to have some little floaty clouds and stuff in there, and I want that to be nice and bright. And I thought today we'd do a little winter scene, something that's warm and cold at the same time. Have a warm spot in the sky, and well, let's just do it. Shoot. Let's start out today with a little 1-inch brush. Go right into some titanium white. This is a fantastic painting to do in public. If you ever want to get out and amaze your friends and neighbors, let's go on up here. Don't let them see you put all the color on the canvas, because we have all these transparent colors on here. It still looks black. And don't tell your friends and neighbors that you've done this. And then when you come up here with your brush and you say, well, let's just do a little something right here, they just go crazy because this color just comes alive. See that beautiful lavender that's happening right there? And I'm just taking the brush and doing like so. And as we work further out, it's going to get darker and darker and darker. There we go. Still using little rocking strokes, we'll call them. Just like so. Darker and darker and darker as it works away from that light spot. There. Now you can do this as many times as you want to achieve a desired lightness. But I would suggest strongly that each time you wash the brush, beat it dry, and start with clean color. Otherwise, you're going to drag that dirty color right back into your light area. I don't think you're going to be happy with that. So, if this is our light area, always start there. And now we can begin working outward, outward. See, let it get darker and darker and darker as it works away. There. See there? Darker, 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 darker. There we are. Now you have to make a decision in your world. How bright do you want the sky? Maybe you want it darker than this or lighter. This is strictly an individual thing. I just want to show you how you can make some fantastic effects using a few crazy brushes. And oh, we have a very limited palette today. We're not using many colors. I want to show you how you can do a fantastic little painting. It's just easy. Easy. Now with a 2-inch brush, I'm going to gently blend this together. Just blend it together. And all those little rocking strokes that you made, you begin to see all kinds of little happy things that they make out here. Okay, let me clean the brush one more time. We just use odorless paint thinner. There we go. Go right back into my white. Let's come right up here. Maybe right in here. Watch here, watch here. Still using that same little stroke. Maybe this comes right on around. Just make it look like it's a big, strong old floater living up here in the sky. Just wherever you want a few. Don't overdo though. Just 1 or 2 is plenty. Now then, back to our big blending brush. And very lightly. See, we can just blend that big old cloud right in. Isn't that something? You can see that son of a gun curve right around and go right into the center. And by allowing it to get bigger on this end, it makes it look like this part's closer to you, the other part's farther away. Okay. Now maybe in our world, let's see here, I'll take some phthalo blue, alizarin crimson, a little black in there too, what the heck. Okay. Let me find a brush here. There's one. You'll use a little fan brush. Maybe in our world here, there lives a little cloud. And he just sort of floats around here and has fun all day. Just sort of let him come right off your brush. Wherever you want him to live, that's exactly where he should be. There he is. And he's just a happy little cloud. Give it a little bit of blending, tiny bit. Now we're going to give you your bravery test. So you come right here, very lightly, go across. Very, very lightly. Look at that. And you've got a beautiful little cloud floating around in your sky. Okay, you passed the bravery test. I'm just going to use that same color. Same color. Pull it out flat, cut across, and we get our little roll of paint right on the edge of the knife. And maybe in our world there lives a beautiful little mountain right up here in the sky. So that's where we'll put him. There he is. See, maybe there's a little bump there, wherever you want him. Maybe another little bump. Really push that paint right into the fabric. Get strong with it, get tough. We'll take our 2-inch brush, grab that, and pull it. Just pull it. Grab it here, and pull. See there? There we go. And by using the brush strokes here, you can sort of lay out your whole mountain and get an idea of where you want highlights and shadows to be without being committed. You can change it. Look at there, you can change it 100 times. I hope you can see those little brush strokes. See here? But isn't that a fantastic way of laying out your mountain? And if they don't show up well on your set, when you're doing this, you'll understand exactly what I'm saying. I'm going to take some titanium white, I'm going to add the least little touch of black into it. Just, I want to dull it a little bit, so it's not pure white. I just want to dull it down, gray it a little. Pull it out as flat as we can get it, cut across, and we have our little roll of paint again. See? It's important that you pull it out and cut that little roll of paint off. Now, no pressure. No pressure. Let that little son of a gun just sort of float there. Maybe we'll have another little bit. Goes right out here and just disappears. There comes a little one right down. Sometimes it feels so good it hurts. There. There we go. Doesn't painting do nice things for you, though? I love to paint. It's one of the few things in my life I've never became bored with, because I don't think you'll ever master it. If you live to be 1,000 years old, you'll always know that your next painting is going to be better. Maybe that's the challenge of it. That's why it's so fascinating to me. There we are. Now let's put some shadows in there. For that, we'll use some white, a little Prussian blue. Mix him up. There we are. Cut off our little roll of paint. Always that little roll of paint. Put a little shadow, zoom, right back here. Come right along here. Push that one back. What power. You can push mountains around. Well, when I go home, I can't push anything but the garbage. But here I can push anything. That's the only thing I'm in charge of at home. It sets and waits for me. But it's nice to be needed. There we are. Okay, little shadow that lives right here. Now, good clean dry brush. Be sure it's dry. If it's not dry, it's going to smoosh. Ooh, I forgot a shadow. You let me do that. Didn't even holler at me. Right here, we need the tiniest little indication of a shadow. There. Now we're all right. See, if I'd forgot that, somebody had wrote and told me. All I'm doing is beating the paint off the brush. Okay. I want to create that misty effect down here at the base. Very lightly, lift upward. Softly, softly. Over here, see there. On this side of the mountain, follow these angles. Always follow the angles. Tap a little there, blend it up. That old mountain's just laying out there floating in the mist. Now you can play games and have fun. Mountains are, oh, they're fantastic. Let's take a little more white. Come right up here, and maybe in our world there lives, yep, you're right, another little ridge or mountain right in the foreground. See, by blending and creating that misty effect right there, now this mountain will separate and become an individual. There's no doubt in your mind when you look at this that it's in the foreground. But if it wasn't for that little misty area in there, you'd have to wonder. You might figure, yeah, it is, no, it's not, whatever. But by creating a little bit of mist, now you know. It separates. Look at that. And you can keep on till you've covered your whole canvas with layer after layer of mountain. And that's not bad. It's a super, super nice way to learn. Just knock off that excess paint. There we are. Now, once again, create our mist on this one. Now you could put another range of mountains in here. And another, and as many as you want. There we are. Very soft, very nice. Okay, now then. Enough mountains. Let's do something else. I'm going to take some black, Prussian blue. Might as well mix this up a nice pile here. alizarin crimson. Shoot, we can throw some Van Dyke brown there too. It doesn't matter. So we have black, blue, crimson, and brown. Let me clean my knife. And we'll grab this old fan brush. That was our cloud making brush. It doesn't matter as long as it has color on it, dark color. And maybe back in here there lives in our world some little distant trees that are far away. Now because they're dark against this light colored mountain, they'll stand out. There. See, and we'll just let them go. Right, I don't know, but we don't know where they go. They just go. Okay. Now I want them to get a little larger on this end, so it'll give the impression that this is going away. There. See there? To about there. Whatever. We don't care. Wherever you want them. Now then, I have several old fan brushes going. I'm going to take the least little touch of a light color. This is just a little white. I want to touch right at the base and lift upward. Right at the base, so it looks like just hundreds of little trunks living back here. Now if they come out a little too bright in your painting, all you have to do is rub them. It'll pick up that dark color that's underneath, and automatically it'll get darker and darker and darker as it blends together. There, but that's just enough to set it out a little bit. Tell you what, we have that color, go right into some titanium white. And maybe underneath here, there's just some happy little snow-covered, ice-covered little bushes and stuff. See, just push upward, make that brush bend upward. There. See, just one layer after another, however many you want. Okay, now, let me find a clean brush. That one's clean enough for our use. I'm going to take just a small amount of titanium white on the large brush. I want to create the illusion of some reflections under here. There's color on the canvas, all you need is white. Grab it and pull down, straight down. It's important that you pull straight down. Straight down. Okay. Now that's mixing with that wet color that's underneath. And very lightly. You can just blend it. Now then, we'll use some liquid white. Pull it out flat, right on your palette. I'm going to add the least little touch of phthalo blue to it, just to cool it down a little. Pull it out very flat, cut across, and have a teeniest little roll of paint on there. Oh, it's just so small. And very firmly, and sort of lay the knife down as you go so it gets all the paint that's on the knife. See, push very firmly down, and you can make just all kinds of little things happen there. Okay, well, we got a nice painting going today. Every once in a while, things just work beautifully. Let's take our old fan brush and go right back into that same dark color. And let's make a happy evergreen. And he lives right about there. Back and forth. There he comes. Ooh, right over my mountain. There he goes. Well, we know that mountain's back here. If anybody asks, you just tell them there's a fantastic mountain that lives right behind this tree. You saw it in there. Let's give him a little friend that lives right there. We don't want him to be left behind. There. See? Well, there's a couple trees. Hope you can see these. They're very dark. Very dark. Maybe, yeah. We messed up the mountain so bad, why not put one right across him? There he comes. Now you're going to pick up a lot of that white. When you're doing this at home, if you have trouble making the paint stick over the top of all that white, I don't seem to be having too much trouble, but if you do, take a little paint thinner, add a little paint thinner to your color, And the thin paint will stick much easier right on top of all the snow and everything on there. Make your life a little easier sometime. Okay, let's take a good old 1-inch brush here. I'm going to go into, what am I going to go into here? We'll go into grab a little white. Shoot, there's some phthalo blue. I'm looking for a pretty dark blue color there. Pull the brush in one direction firmly. I want to round one corner. See how round that corner looks? Now when we hit up here, that corner is going to be to the top. Push upward. There. And by pushing upward, it makes all those little leafy looking things happen. I'm going to bring that down about like that. And all we're doing, once again, is just throwing in some dark color so our light color will show up. Okay. Now then, we can take another 1-inch brush. I'm going to dip it into the liquid white. Pull it through titanium white. The liquid white is only on there to make the paint a little thinner so it'll stick. That's the only reason it's on there. Now, I'm going to put all kinds of little snow-covered frosty bushes in here. Just some pretty little things. It should look like lace. I'll do one little bush at a time. Jack Frost has waved his wand and magic has happened here. Beautiful. Maybe right there. Have another one. Boy, you know, if you was out here, this would be a nice spot, but you'd get cold out here. So maybe we should have us a little cabin out here so we could sit by the fire and look at this beautiful scene and be warm. So I'm going to take the knife and scrape out a basic cabin shape. Just take the knife. We just put a little cabin. Maybe there was a trapper that lived out here years ago, and this is all that's left of his little cabin. Okay, take a little Van Dyke brown and do the back eave. That's all there is to it. Now, for the other side of the roof, I'm just going to use titanium white. Snow's on it. Okay, we'll get the little knife. It comes in a little handier for getting in these little spots. Take a little brown. This is a little dark sienna, a little Van Dyke brown. There we go. See? Just pull in our basic little cabin shape. Basic shape. It's all we're looking for at this point. Little dark sienna and white. Still using the small knife. Just barely grazing the canvas. Touch and pull it down. We'll make the front of this cabin a little brighter. Now we can just make the indication here and there with a few old boards. It's a rough cabin. Take the knife, cut off our cabin, do a cabinectomy. Just the way we want it. Take a little bit of Van Dyke brown, put us in a little door. We gotta have a little door. People always yell at me because I never put chimneys on my cabin, so I'll just use a small edge of the knife and put a little chimney on that one. We can take at least a little touch of crimson there. But there's nobody home, so there's snow on top of the chimney. So I normally don't bother to ever put chimneys, and I get people write me and say, boy, that poor guy's freezing to death, and they give that poor fellow a chimney. So today we did. Take a little titanium white. Let's just put the indication of a little snow path down there where he can walk. Okay, back to my brush that has liquid white and titanium white, and we can continue to put some happy little bushes right in here. When you touch it canvas, give it a little upward push. Just a little upward push. There we go. Now I see something that I should do. On this cabin here, on the other side of the roof, I didn't put any snow over there. And there would be a layer of snow there. And that'll just make it look a little better. And it also makes your cabin stand out. Okay, in these bushes here and there, I just want to scrape through and just put the indication of a few little sticks and twigs and all kinds of little things. Let a few hang right over the path. And pushes that path down into the painting more, wherever you think they should be. Okay, find me a fan brush. There's one. Oh, here's one that's already dirty. I'm going to take, this is white with a little phthalo blue in it. Okay, let's go right up here. I want to put the indication here and there of a little bit of snow on these trees. Don't want much because I don't want to lose that beautiful contrast. So it's just white with a little touch of phthalo blue in it. There. And that sort of makes those limbs stand out a little bit and the arms on the tree. Boy, it looks cold. Better get your big Alaskan parka out. I lived in Alaska. I used to wear mucklucks. And those are big canvas boots that come way up, and boy, they're fantastic. They keep you from freezing to death. Like them. Okay, I'll tell you what let's do. Let's bring the camera right up here close, and I'm going to pull the contact paper off, and let's take a look at what we have. Okay. Now see, I didn't paint the canvas. I left the canvas white. So when you pull this son of a gun off, boy, does it stand out. I mean, it really stands out. But now, when you're doing this at home, maybe you want to paint this a different color, like a light blue or a tan, or anything that makes you feel good. There's a million different things you can do, and I use a lot of ovals only because that's a nice shape to work with. But I have letters from people who are using octagons and squares and just any shape that the mind can imagine. And when you're doing yours, sort of look, make a determination. One of the things that I found, placemats are excellent for getting shapes. I used placemats and lay it on the contact paper and take an X-Acto knife or something and cut around it and then glue it on. But that works very, very well. Okay, I'm going right back in to that dark color that I had. Load a lot of paint into the bristles. And maybe, in our world here, let's let this one tree, just this one tree, that's the only one I want, escape. He's going to slip right out of the bounds of this oval and live right up here. There he is. Just that one little tree. Now we'll take some of our phthalo blue and white. And if you have trouble making this stick, add a little bit of the liquid white to it. That'll make it a little thinner and then it'll stick. We can come back in here and just throw on a few little highlights. Okay. Now then, go into a touch of the paint thinner right into some titanium white. And I'm going to load this liner brush full of color. This is very thin, it's like ink. Roll the brush, brings it to a nice sharp point. And maybe here and there, let's just put a happy little stick or two that's all frosty. And oh, Jack Frost has really worked on these too. Just here and there, don't go too wild with them. Too many of them don't look right. And maybe up through here you can make out a little ones. These little details, they're nice. There we go. I think we're about to the point we can call this one finished and sign it. I'm going to take a little red, thin it down with thinner, and let's sign this one right about here. Sincerely hope you've enjoyed this one. It'll show you how much fun you can have using some black gesso, a little contact paper, and imagination. And from all of us here, happy painting and God bless. Hi, welcome back. I'm glad you joined me today because today we're going to do a fantastic little seascape, and I think you'll like that. Let me tell you what I've already done up here. I have my standard old canvas up here, and I've covered the top of it with just liquid white, just like we normally do. Then I have a piece of masking tape, and this is slightly above center. And then the bottom of this I've covered with liquid clear, and I just have a thin, even coat. So I tell you what, let's have them run all the colors across the screen that you need to paint along, and we're going up here and get started. Now, let's start today with a small amount of the phthalo blue. Smallest little amount. Just a tiny bit. Okay, let's just go up in here and let's just drop us in a happy little sky. Just a quick little sky. Now, when you're putting this liquid clear on, like we have on the bottom, use it very, very sparingly because you can't see it. You have a tendency to put too much on. You need very, very little of it. Oh, son of a gun. One can of it might last you for years and years and years. There we go. I have a big old cloud up in the sky, so we'll just leave a spot open for it. Okay, and we just blend that out a little, about like so. Now, same old brush. I'll take some more phthalo blue, reach up here and grab a touch of the alizarin crimson. So we have phthalo blue and alizarin crimson, and just mix it on the brush. I'm just looking for sort of a lavender color. Maybe in our sky today there's a big old cloud. Just use a corner of the brush, see, just tap you in the back of the cloud here, putting in some shadow. See, just drop them in wherever you want them. Maybe right on down. I don't know. You be the judge of where you want clouds to be. Maybe it comes right on down in here somewhere. Okay, that's all there is to it. All we're doing is putting in some dark shapes, so when we put light on it, it'll stand out and sparkle for you. Let's bend this one over a little. There, see? Make him tilt over a little bit. You can just do anything that you want to do. It's your cloud. Clean my brush here. Give him a shake. We're in business. Okay, I'm going to go right into titanium white. Still use old 2-inch brush. What the heck? Now, when you're doing this at home, maybe you want to use your fan brush to do it if you want very delicate little clouds, or a 1-inch brush, or you can get brave and just use this big son of a gun. It doesn't matter. There we go. Just put them rascals on there. I want a big fluffy cloud that just lives out here and has a good time. Maybe. There. Okay. Just wherever you think they should be. Maybe there's a little bit of it that floats right over here. Wherever. Look at that. See, a big old brush will make beautiful clouds if you just give it a chance. But I'm using just the corner of the brush. There we are. Okay, we'll wash that rascal again. If you've painted with me before, you know I use odorless thinner to clean the brush. If you don't use odorless thinner, I guarantee you, you're going to be working alone and you're going to be the most unpopular person in the house. Now, just use just the top corner of the brush and we'll begin mixing this, blending it. And I'm going to beat the brush occasionally just to knock off excess paint that I pick up. There. Just begin blending it together. And by just beating the brush, you don't have to go through the whole cleaning procedure. Just give it a good hard womp there. Knock it a good one. Okay, now I'm going to fluff this cloud a little. Got to make those little noises. There, just fluff it up. Like so. Give it another beat and a bang, and there we are. Sort of looks like an A-bomb went off there, don't it? So now if you ever want to paint a big explosion, big bomb, you know how to do it. We both learned something. There. Very lightly, very lightly. Just want to go right across that and just blend it very softly. 3 hairs and some air. That's all it takes. Okay. Knock off that excess paint. Now then, as I mentioned earlier, there's a piece of masking tape across here. I have that on there only to give us a beautiful straight horizon line. So let's take that off. And that's the fun part, is pulling that off. Now then, we can go up here and begin playing a little bit. Might take a clean, dry brush and put the least little touch of the liquid clear right up to the horizon. When you're using this clear, one of the neatest things, try this at home. Take clear and liquid white, mix it together in about equal proportions, and then put it on your canvas. Make some of the most beautiful effects you've ever seen. You'll like it. You'll like it. Now then, I'm going to take just a little liner brush, or filbert brush, I'm sorry. A little filbert brush here, put a little color on it. I like to sort of lay out a basic idea when I'm going to do little seascapes, because I want to keep the eye of this wave transparent. So come right up here and watch. Let's just go. There'll be our major wave. It'll come right along in there somewhere. And it'll curl over. Does that sort of help? Like so. And maybe we'll have some stones in here. I don't know. Somewhere in here we'll have some stones. See, it doesn't matter. You can just do anything that you want to do there. The only thing I'm worried about saving is this nice place where the eye of our wave will be. I want to keep that nice and clean and sparkly. Let's get a little bit of phthalo blue. Be right back. Grab some alizarin crimson, phthalo blue. Okay. Now then, just going to put a little touch of color right up in here. Maybe a touch more of the crimson. There. This is just background color. There we go. See, right up to the horizon. There. And roughly down to where we're going to have it. We're really not committed, so it's not a big deal. That's the only part I'm trying to save, is right there. Rest of it, wherever. Okay. And right on over here somewhere. Okay, add a little phthalo green to my brush here. Maybe when it gets down in here, we're going to have a little touch of green. I'm going to add some black to that. Very dark. Black, phthalo blue, phthalo green. I let that blend right on up. Just looking for a super, super dark color. There we go. Something about like so. Okay. Now then, I'm going to grab another brush. Maybe there'd be a little sand over here. So I'm going to go into the Van Dyke brown, little dark sienna, just mix them up a little bit on the brush. And maybe there's a little sand lives right over here in the corner. And all we're doing is just blocking in color. Add a little touch of yellow ochre to that. Little touch of yellow ochre as it gets down here. There. Just sort of let them blend together. No big deal right now. Once again, all we're doing is blocking in color. We can come back and do anything that we want to do. Okay, clean our brush. Give it a nice scrub. And beat the devil out of it. Okay, now we can start playing back here. Grab a fan brush, go into a little bit of white, and we can make our first big decision. Looking for some waves back here in the background. There's one. Just straight white, that's all it is. There's another one that lives right back in here. Just straight white. A little bit of white right along this major one. Now, all we want to do is gently blend this back. Allow it to pick up that color, this back here. Just blend it back. Okay, grab the next one and blend him back. Wipe all the excess paint off your brush and just use the paint that you have on the canvas and blend back. See, what happens is these dark edges that are important, not the light ones. And you begin getting all those beautiful little wave shapes in there. And we can just put a little of the white on the brush here. Just put the indication of some little things that are happening way back in there. Okay, zoom in, just make little wave shapes. Just here and there. Like so. Okay. Let's get a filbert here. Right in this area. I want to have some fun. So we'll take some straight titanium white, and to that I'm going to add the smallest little touch of cad yellow. Very little color in there. Load the bristles full of paint. Now let's go right up in here. If this is where the eye of the wave is going to be, or the transparency, then just scrub it in. Get tough with it. Get tough with it. Really scrub it in. Now then we'll begin picking up some of this color. Just let it blend out darker and darker. While I have it on the brush, maybe some of it comes down in here. See, let all kinds of little things just happen. Bring them sort of back and forth a little. Now we can wash that brush. Okay. Now we have a good dry 2-inch brush. I'm going to use just the top corner and very lightly make tiny little circles here. And we can begin blending all that together. Tiniest little circles. And just barely touching the canvas. And you just sort of wind it up. See there? And now we can begin creating some shape. Just pull those colors together. That's pretty already. Now shapes. There we go. Okay. Now we want that water to crash over. So I'll just take some white on the brush. And, well, let's see here. Let me find another brush. I got 2 or 3 of them going here. Need a little more dark right in here. There we are. Got to have plenty of dark in there so our light will show. Now we can take this is just titanium white. I'm going to grab it, give it a pull. Let it curl over. Think about that wave crashing over the top here. Grab it. Helps to make those little noises. There you go. Okay. Now maybe I said there was going to be some stones. I'm going to take some. Oh, let's go in right in here. Have some Van Dyke Brown Dark Sienna mixed together. And right here I'm going to mix up blue and alizarin crimson. Proportionally much more crimson. Take a little of each. And maybe our stone lives right up in here. Now push it in very firmly. Now I'm just going to start blending this together. All I'm doing is bending that knife. I have the small knife. Pushing very firmly and begin blending this together. Let it pick up some of this white. I want this to be very soft, very subdued. A little more white. And just blend. See what's happening? Put a lot of pressure. Really a lot of pressure. Wipe your knife continually. And just make it look so soft. Maybe this wave comes right in front of it. You have to make a big decision. Okay. We'll take a little blue, crimson, touch of white. Let's go right in here and let's start putting the foam in here. That's the fun part. Just think about that foam crashing and carrying on in there. Helps to make all these little noises. Okay, now we have to clean the brush. I'm just wiping it on some paper towels here. Okay, and we go right back into, this is white with the least little touch of the cad yellow in it, least little touch. Load a lot of color into the brush. Now then, let's start right up here. Let's give it a little upward push. Create that nice foam. There. Wipe your brush off in between loading so you have nice fresh color on it. Let that foam just follow right around here. Think about how the water's going to crash and churn and carry on. All the little things that are going on. Water really gets, boy, it gets having a good time out here. Now then, I'm wiping all the paint off the brush and very gently, just going to blend these back together. Get all the paint off the brush that you can get off, just rub it clean. Our 2-inch brush, and very lightly, once again, just blend that together. Comes out so soft and delicate looking. People never believe you've done that with a great big brush. Now I'm going to take the liner brush, go into some of that lavender here, and I want to strengthen this edge so it really stands out. There we go. Really strengthen it here. A little bit of that color on it. Begin putting some little things in your wave. These little things help show the shape. There. Okay, now then, let's go back to our small knife. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's have an opening between these stones. That always looks neat. So come right in here, and you need a few little things happening. We're not too worried about this. Most of it's going to be covered up, but maybe a little of it will show through. And we have a little bit of action going on back there. Need a little action. Go back into our lavender and brown mixture, and maybe come right up here. Maybe there's another stone. There he is. It's not a great deal of color on here. Not a great deal of color. Really push firmly. There, just really push it in. Begin shaping your rocks. Take off all that excess paint. Just all types of little beautiful things happening there. And at home, you have unlimited time, and you can just make, layer after layer, and beautiful stone after beautiful stone in here. But this little knife is really ideal for this. Okay, maybe in our world here, there's a little touch of highlight that just zings right on down on that rock. Oh, there it is. See there? Now then, just grab the edges of that maybe and blend it back a little. It's a mean looking rock, isn't it? Take a little touch of blue and white, and let's just put a little of that right in here. There. Okay. A little bit of straight white. See, and just by making these little circles here, you can create all kinds of foam mist that's building and churning down here. Look at that. And you can do it. You can do it. Firm pressure, bending that knife. Bend it. You can do entire seascapes with this little knife. It's very, very good for seascapes. Okay, let me find my old fan brush again. Maybe there's right in here. There's another little do where it lives right there. Wherever you want to. Put a little trough right in there. Just very gently blend it together. This liquid clear is fantastic for seascapes. It's one of the nicest things I ever invented. It works so well. See that? How that just, there's a trough right in there though that flows for you. Okay. There it is. Lost my knife for a second. Maybe there's another stone right here. And as I say, in your world, you put as many or as few stones as you want. This is just a little bit of brown and some of that lavender color. We just let it churn and mist right in there. Isn't that pretty though, the way that just comes together? And we'll take a least little touch of yellow ochre. Least little touch, a little bit of white. And maybe let's just come right out in here and sort of define this stone a little bit. See that? Such a small amount of the ochre in there. It doesn't even look like ochre. A little touch of the blue. A little more white. Wipe your knife continually. Get off any excess paint. And you can just blend all this together. Shoot, let's have a big rock right here. I'm getting so carried away. I need something to cover up this big opening here. We'll just take some Van Dyke brown here. Let's just bring him right off the canvas. What the heck? Maybe he comes right there. Wherever. Comes right down in front. And just fill this in. Scrape off all the excess paint. All the excess paint. Just really get in there and pull all of it out that you can. Okay, and then our little knife. I just want to blend all this together. Over here, I'm going to add a little bit of the phthalo blue and white. Act as a nice shadow color. Maybe there's a touch right in here, a little highlight. And you're continually wiping the knife. There we go. Now let's have some fun. Maybe, in our world, maybe the old water line here comes right. Push very firmly. Firmly. Like so. And just blend that back. See, it's unbelievable what you can do with the knife. It really and truly is. Spend some time learning this son of a gun. Make friends with it. Make it your good friend. Because it will do things that you could not believe. See, create the illusion of a little mist here. Maybe there's another little ripple right up here on the shore a little bit. There. Okay. Now then, we need some little fun things in here. Maybe in here we have just all kinds of little foam things that live in here. There we go. And you can blend these until they, any degree of lightness, softness, harshness that you want, can make it very, very soft. Now, take a little paint thinner, a little phthalo blue and white. And let's go back in here and begin putting in just some little wave indications. And you can put in all kinds of these to really make your painting stand out. Just all kinds of them. And if you come across here, and think where the light's coming. If you have a little bright spot here, maybe this right in here, it's a little bit brighter. Let them just shine. See, maybe right along in here. Okay, here's some. They come right on around. Look at that. See, this gives shape and form to your wave. There. Just let your hand wiggle and jiggle and carry on. This is where if you have a little nervous twitch, you're ahead of the game. Boy, you've got something going. Take advantage of it. Here comes one. Yep, you're right. Just let them go. There. But these things, as I say, this is what adds the little details that are so fantastic. And if you're out selling paintings, for example, this is what will make your painting stand out over everybody else's that's around. So spend some time and do some of these little things and enjoy it. It's a fun part of it. Maybe even in here, a few little gutters over in here. Something like so. There's no end to this. But seascapes should not be hard. They shouldn't be a big mystery. I think we've come up with some ways here to do some seascapes that even if you've never painted them before, you'll have very, very good success. I'm going to sign this one, take a little red, and we'll call it done. I hope you've enjoyed it. Show you how to use the liquid clear and how in just a few minutes you can do a fantastic little seascape. And from all of us here, I'd like to wish you happy painting, God bless, and I'll see you next time.